Okay, so I thought I'd fill you in on why I'm in court, because obviously some of you won't know. So basically back in March, I heard about the Free Man movement, the sovereign movement, and I sent off a notice of understanding and intent and claim of right off to the Queen and the 6 heads of state, and also to the DVLA. Now this document basically outlines that England is a common law jurisdiction, and that we are policed and governed by consent in this country, and if we don't consent, they can't govern us. So this document says I don't consent. Now I think it's like 65% of the UK population don't vote. I'm one of them, because I don't feel that this government represents me accurately. So I've withdrawn my consent basically and said I've got no respect for how they run this country and I want nothing to do with it. So they got a copy of this back in April, and when they got this, it had one of these seals on it from a notary public, which is basically he's on the same level as a judge, and if a judge looks at this, he has to read it and he has to take notice of its content. Now, I initially thought that this seal made me free, that I was free from their legal system then. I've since found out that it's actually fraudulent, because in order to get the notary to seal this, I had to show him ID to identify myself. Now the ID I had to show was ID based on the birth certificate. Now this birth certificate, this name on the birth certificate is Crown copyrighted. It's the property of the Crown Corporation. Now I'm not legally trained, which means I'm not a member of the bar, which means I don't have use to the copyrights of my legal name, and the only way you can have use of the copyrights is to be a member of the bar. So I was a bit fucked in the sense that I wanted to tell them, like, I know this is a common law jurisdiction and I know that I don't consent to this, but I didn't realise at this point quite how deep the deception went. So I sent this off, and I sent off a document here called a Notice of Rescission and Deregistration, which I sent off to the DVLA, basically saying that I'm deregistering the vehicle and it's now a privately owned automobile, and that I want to end the contract. So I sent the license back, said that's not me. I don't need a license to exercise my God-given right to travel. So I sent it back. So there was some correspondence between me and the DVLA, but I didn't want that contract anymore. It's my right to travel. And in being this legal person, you're converting that right into a privilege that other men or government can kind of give you as a gift. You can't gift me my rights. My creator gifted me my rights, which means I take them. I have them. They're inherent. So this is what I'm trying to say to the court. I'm exercising my birthrights. So I've got definitions here from Black's Law Dictionary, distinguishing between the persons that they're talking about. So we've got artificial person, which is the person they are assuming you are when they call you by your title, like Mr, Miss or Mrs or whatever. They are assuming you are this artificial person. And the definition of this in Black's Law Dictionary is such as are created and devised by law for the purpose of society and government, called corporations or bodies politic. And then you've got the natural person, which I am and you probably are as well, such as are formed by nature as distinguished from artificial persons or corporations, private person, and individual who is not the incumbent of an office. So there's a clear distinction between the artificial person and the natural person. One is created by law and the other one is created by God, the creator, whatever you want to call it. Now, where do you exist? Think about it. Are you created by government? Does another human being have the right to dictate how your life and your future is going to go? Or do you think that as a natural creation, an equal creation of our Creator to another human being, He made us all equal. I say He, the universe, whatever, we are equal as humans. These guys don't have the right to enforce their ideologies on us. Like, who do they think they are? So I've got all this evidence here to prove that I'm not a driver, okay? So they're talking about this artificial person, which is who they're assuming you are. So this artificial person is a corporation. Now, these acts and statutes can only apply to corporations. They can't apply these rules on human beings because they have no right to. And so this is what's kind of been discovered now. So I've got the definitions from Black's Law Dictionary again of a driver and a traveller. So I'll show you these ones because it's basically driving offences that I'm being threatened with kidnapping if I don't take these charges. And I'm not going to take them because they're trying to put them on to me like I am this person they created. I know who I am. So let me show you who I am. Right, this is a driver, okay? So one employed in conducting or operating a coach, carriage, wagon or other vehicle with horses, mules or other animals, or a bicycle, tricycle or motor car, though not a street railroad car. A person actually doing driving, whether employed by owner to drive or driving his own vehicle. Now, key words in that were employed by owner. What does employed mean? You're acting commercially, so you're your corporation. They're assuming you're this corporation, okay? Employed by owner. So who's the owner of your car? If you have a DVLA registered vehicle, who owns it? The DVLA do. And you are the registered keeper. Check out your paperwork if you don't believe me. So what this document here did when I sent the license back is it deregistered the vehicle and it said, no, you don't own this vehicle. This is my car. I'm the owner of it. So I'm not paying you to exercise my right. So you can download these documents from my page. I'll post them in a minute, like after I've posted this video. So I've got evidence here that that's what a driver is. That's the definition of a driver in law, in legislation, okay? So then I've got the definition of a traveller from Black's Law Dictionary, which is one who passes from place to place, whether for pleasure, instruction, business or health. So that doesn't say anything about being employed by owner, does it? So obviously I'm a traveller because I'm not employed by the DVLA or anyone to use my car. It's for my own pleasure. It's my private property. So I sent all of this off back in April, and there was a bit of correspondence between myself and the DVLA, but I didn't back down. I said to them, I'm aware of this now. I know I don't need to contract you. I'm not obliged to. We don't have to. There's no law that says I have to have your driving licence and I have to do this your way. If you read the document, the notice of rescission, you will see that you don't have to pay insurance. You don't have to pay tax. You don't have to pay. I mean, it's sensible to get MOT and stuff like that, but it's about self-governance. You have to identify yourself, but as yourself, not as this legal name, this legal person. So the charges that I got were driving with no licence, not telling the Secretary of State that I'm the new keeper. What was the other one? And there was another one as well, but I can't remember. So they're all driving ones, but I'm not a driver. So I got arrested on the 16th of June for driving offences, and I was basically threatened under threat of kidnapping. They were going to kidnap me, the police were, if I didn't go to this court hearing in Cheltenham. Initially, the guy actually tried to remand me in custody because I didn't have a driving licence. Like, that is how crazy this dictatorship has got. Because I didn't cause any harm or any loss. I didn't have a licence, but I hadn't committed a crime. It's not a crime to not have a licence, because the definition of a crime is to cause harm or loss to somebody. If you haven't caused harm or loss, what are the police doing? This is the thing. So they're just enforcing a dictatorship out of their jurisdiction. Police are literally enemies of the state. So I'm rambling now. So I'll get back to what I was saying. So I sent all these documents off. I was arrested. I went to court. I know I'm not this person because I spoke to Kate of Gaia after I'd sent off all my notice of understanding and stuff, and she said, well, said to me that I'm not this legal name at all, like it's not even my property. So when I came into that realisation, this whole legal system turned very 2D for me. I've seen a lot of people have got stuck in it and are learning their lies. I have no interest in learning their lies. I can see right through this legal system. It is just an illusion. It's just a veil that's been pulled over our eyes. And as soon as you're aware that it is just lies and it is an illusion, there's no interest in learning it because you can see right through it, which I can now. And it's almost difficult to just see everybody still really stuck in it. So I'm hoping that if I can just stay strong enough and go into this courtroom and just try and just be real with them and say, like, I'm not going to get representation because it's my right to know what the hell is going on. If you're going to threaten to kidnap me, if I don't come here, and I'm trying to prove to you, I've sent all of this off to the courts, all this evidence that I am not a driver and I am not the person that they are claiming I am, or trying to make me claim I am, knowing that I'm not this person. Like, oh, it's so frustrating. Like, I don't know why I thought this was going to be easy. I don't know how I got in my head, yeah, this will be fine. It'll just be, they'll know it's not me. They already know it's not me. They know it's not us. But if we start to wake up to the fact it's not us, their whole system is going to crumble. And we're going to be able to start living the lives we were born to live. So, yeah. I'll post these videos to my page. Check out Kate of Gaia on Google. Just Google it and go onto the WordPress. Read the writings, because it will just blow your mind what these guys have been doing. So yeah, have a great day.